If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. I'm Quindell Evans, BluePoetry.com. Right now, you're tuned into the Blue Poetry Podcast. I appreciate you for listening. And I'm going to get right into it. Today's affirmation. Today's affirmation is. Hold on. Today's affirmation, and the reason I like to do these affirmations is because I'm working on healing myself and working on figuring myself out and being more productive, being more progressive, like being more focused on my goals and stuff like that. So like I think it begins with affirmity, like building that foundation. So yeah, today's affirmation is I strive to be the best I can be, but no better than anyone else. I don't work hard to compete. I work hard to improve on myself. One more time. I strive to be the best I can be, but no better than anyone else. I don't work hard to compete. I work hard to improve on myself. You feel me then? Yeah, self-improvement. You feel me? This affirmation specifically is really about faith, you know? Channeling that energy of faith. And faith is the energy to believe in yourself. You feel me? So that's what this affirmation is about. I strive to be the best I can be. No better than anyone else. I don't work hard to compete. I work hard to improve myself. It takes faith, the belief in self, in order to continue to work on yourself, and work on yourself in a way that you're not trying to compete with anyone else, but you're just trying to improve. That means you believe in yourself. That means you believe in yourself and you always want to improve, So that's what that means, like it's faith. This is an affirmation about faith. You feel me? I want to have faith in myself. And for example, when I perform, I host open mics, I perform at shows, or whether I'm just a feature or just open mic when I get a chance to sign up and perform. Usually when I start off, I introduce myself. My name is Quindell Evans. I'm the greatest poet you ever seen ever. And then I focus in on exactly where we at. I'm the greatest poet that came in this venue ever. I'm the greatest poet that's from Brownsville ever. I'm the greatest poet, blah, 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 ever. I'm the greatest poet you ever seen ever. And I don't say that to say that I'm better than any other poet. I just say that because we living in 2019 and I'm black and like there's so much information out there that's not necessarily promoting upliftment. There's so much information out there that's not uplifting me as a man. This is America. I'm black. We know the history of blacks in America. So it's like I don't have, the time to put myself down. There's enough time, but I don't want to take time, to put myself down. And I don't have the time to put myself down. I don't have the time to be mediocre in a way, like, just to say I'm an okay poet, like I'm good. Like, no, I am doing the best I can. So I am not, like if you're doing the best you can, that's how I feel. Like if you're doing the best you can, you're the greatest. So I want people to be inspired, like I'm not saying I'm better than anybody that's saying I'm the greatest poet. It's just I'm uplifting myself. I'm making myself feel good and I'm giving myself some credit at trying hard, at doing the best I can. And I feel like that is very important, just period. So I'm the greatest is an affirmation that, anybody or everyone can say, and everyone should say in order to uplift themselves in this, especially in this day and age. It's like you can't uplift yourself enough. It's not striking your ego. Ego would be I'm better than you. Ego would be nobody was, like nobody has ever been as great as me, and that's the comparison thing. That's the competition thing. This ain't an ego thing. This is a uplifting thing. This is sometimes we need to, or a lot of times we need to uplift ourselves. A lot of times we need to make sure that we are operating from a space of happiness, from a place of self-appreciation, from a place of self-love, from a place of self-acceptance, from a place of of from a place of, like progress, from a place of discipline. We need to be operating from a place of what's the word I'm looking for? Diligence. Just like working hard, we need to operate from that space that of putting our best effort, from a space of effort. That might be the word I'm looking for. So we need to uplift ourselves and always know we're putting our best foot forward. So I strive to be the best I can be, and for me, I want to say I'm the greatest. Not that I'm better than you, I ain't competing, but so that I can always have something to strive for. Period. I know that I don't want to be just mediocre. I know that I don't want to just be regular or average. I want to be the greatest at whatever I do. I want to put my greatest effort into whatever I do. You know. So I say I'm the greatest poet ever. And I want people to be inspired to say the same thing about themselves. If you're a poet, say it too. Just because I say I'm the greatest poet don't mean you can't say it too. I'm the greatest poet ever. You know? Not about being better, but just being the greatest you can be. If you know you're doing the greatest you can, then say you're the greatest. If you a plumber, a garbage man, a teacher, a business owner, a, an investor, whatever you are, say you're the greatest. You can. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe your self-esteem is already high. But for people like me who need to work on myself continually because of my conditioning, then I want to be at the mercy of uplift all day. I want to be at the mercy of giving myself the most love all day. So that's what that's about, So maybe you are conditioned to already, appreciate yourself in other ways, but my advice to some people, tell yourself you're the greatest, tell yourself you're doing the greatest, give yourself some credit, uplift yourself. Don't put yourself down too much. Like, give yourself some credit sometimes. A lot of times we are hard on ourselves. I've been hard on myself, so I know. And I'm learning to give myself some credit now. So that's what this is about. Giving myself some credit. Having some faith that my best work, my greatest effort, is going to take me far. It's going to get me to where I want to go. This is a faith affirmation. Believing in myself affirmation. You feel me? So I strive to be the best I can be, and I ain't competing. I'm just improving on myself. You feel me then? Just like Muhammad Ali. He said he's the greatest boxer before anybody else said he was the greatest. And because he said it so much, now we just automatically throw his name as the greatest. I ain't saying I'm better than anybody. I'm gonna keep repeating that because as a poet, I done lost slams. As a rapper, I done got chewed in rap battles. You feel me? And I done lost things, but I learned, and I'm always gonna do my best in those competitions. I feel like I work hard, and a lot of times I feel like I won anyway. The competitions I lost, I sometimes be like, I felt like I put in the most work out of every competitor. So deep down I feel like I won. It's okay if somebody else wins, but I deep down know that I did my best and I'm happy with that. So that's what this affirmation is about. Like, I'm just doing the best I can, you feel me? So I'm always gonna grow, I'm always gonna learn from, even if I'm losing or even if I'm not getting what I want. By doing my best, I'm gonna learn how to continue I'm gonna learn by continuing to do my best, you feel me? For example, like when I was in college, I competed in pageants every year in my college career. Like, that was the thing. Like, when there was a pageant or a competition, like, people who knew me knew I was going to compete. And I won every one. I won every one. And there was times I lost. But because I studied myself, because I realized, like, okay, I did my best, but what could I have done better for myself? Remember, this is the affirmation about I strive to be my best. No better than anybody else. I don't work hard to compete. I work hard to improve on myself. So the whole time, for every time that I've lost a pageant, I've lost a competition, I wasn't thinking about competing or being better than the other competitors, the other contestants. I was just competing with myself. So when I lost, it was like I wasn't thinking about, oh, because that person did better. I was thinking about what I didn't do right, what I could improve on, and how I could win the next time. So literally, like, I won every pageant, but whether it was the first time or the second, I'm going to take it. And then sometimes I win and I come back and win again because I feel like I could do better the second time. Literally. So it's like, that is the vibe with me. It's like, if I can do better, then let's do it. Like, so when I won past from my freshman year to the my super senior year when I graduated, I won pageants, and it was literally me competing with myself. I wasn't thinking about the contestants. I wasn't thinking about who I was competing against. I was thinking about every round. How can I maximize my potential? How can I maximize my effort in that round? What can I do to get the maximum amount of points for that round? What can I do to get the maximum amount of votes or whatever it was? Like, how can I make every round count, be memorable every round, like, be the one that they're going to remember every round. Not more memorable than the next person, but I want, what can they remember out of me? Like, what can they remember what can they take from me? What can they remember about what I did? I want to be memorable. Like, I want to be impactful. I want to be effective. So, like, I won all these pageants because I was competing with myself and I was striving to do my best every time. And when it comes to things that I'm learning now, I'm always, like, striving to do my best every day. Like, I write goals down every day, and a lot of times it's like I don't. Sometimes, as the day goes on, you do things throughout your day. Like, that's natural. And the things on my list, I'd be like, I don't really feel like doing it right now. But that's not my best. That's not my best talking right there when I say stuff like that. So I dig inside for, like, that inner me, that inner greatest, that inner that inner, champion, and I bring them out and be like, yo, just get to it now. Like, I'm doing this podcast right now because I am pushing myself to do the greatest today. I'm not in I'm not, I didn't, just simply say I didn't feel like doing this right now. But at the same time, a part of me had it planned, so I got it. I had it planned, so let's get to it. Like, let's not allow any excuses, any lack of potential. Let's not allow any average energy into enter when it comes to my goals. Like, let's get to it type vibe. And that's what I feel like is me just doing my best, me being the greatest. Like, me striving to be my best and improving on myself. Is I will look back and realize that doing this right now is pushing me to be greater, you know? And it's just that simple. So, and I think that comes with competing with myself, like doing better than I did yesterday. When I write goals, I'm like, oh, today I'm gonna do A, B, and C harder today. And sometimes it takes being hard on yourself. It takes being hard on yourself. So there's good ways to be hard on yourself, and there's bad ways to be hard on yourself. But if you got to be hard on yourself to get through your goals, then get to it. You feel me? So, like, improve. Like, if you got to be hard on yourself to improve and get better, then get to it. You feel me? And like, when it comes to, like, the pageants, or when it comes to, like, my music, when it comes to anything that I do, products that I create, books that I'm writing, or competitions I'm in or whatever, there's always people out there that's doing the same thing I'm doing, and they probably are better. They probably are more talented. They probably are naturally have a good voice and naturally can sing. They probably are naturally better writers, and they probably are naturally better marketers or promoters or brand. That is natural. There's always gonna be different levels of things, but on the flip side, if you can be better you can be talented, you can be more talented or more skilled, but integrity, and faith is like a skill in itself. So I feel like personally, your 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 talents are outweighed by your faith. How much you believe in yourself, how much you believe in your craft, how much you believe in your being consistent in your craft is more valuable than your craft itself. I'm sure we know somebody who's a custodian right now or works at, Chipotle and has a voice like, like, can sing like Mariah Carey or can sing like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Mario, I don't know, like can sing, can have a, can sing like Robin Thicke or R. Kelly, whatever. They can write songs but but their faith is mediocre. They don't believe in themselves. Their faith is average. Like they know they good, da da da, but they ain't got the drive that allows them to work on their talent every day and showcase their talent every day and get themselves out there every day. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? If I get it, I'll be the right people. If I make some connections, I've been thinking about it, but it's like, yeah, I like it. I like singing, but I don't know if I want to do this full time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so talent is whatever. But if people don't have the passion, the courage, the integrity, the consistency, the discipline, and the faith, the belief in themselves, then talent is whatever. Talent is the same thing. Talent goes as far as the faith allows it to. I gotta quote that right there. Talent goes as far as, let me write this down. See, talent goes as far as the faith allows it to. I was on humility, and I feel like talent goes as far as the faith allows it to. Let me write this down real quick. Y'all excuse me. Because I feel like that was a bar right there. And you can't just let stuff like that just slide by, when stuff like that come out the tongue. But anyway, excuse me. So, talent goes as far as the faith allows it to. So, and it could work both ways too. I'm sure there's, people who got more faith than me, got more faith than me, in their talents, and they might be less talented. You feel me? Just like there are people out there who are more talented than me and has less faith. There are people who are probably less talented than me and have more faith. So it works both ways. And I feel like personally, somebody who's not as talented or skilled or not, whose presentation is not all together, but they believe in themselves, I feel like they potentially have more of a chance to go further in this world than people who don't have faith. I feel like faith will take untalentedness or less talent and go and can make that go further. Or it can allow your talent to develop, like if you have faith and you don't have talent, your belief in yourself can allow your talent to grow. So it's just like, believe in yourself, like don't take don't take your faith for granted. Like don't take your talents for granted. Don't take your habits for granted. Like believe in yourself, you feel me? So faith, consistency, and self-improvement, these are talents in its own. Like faith is a talent. To believe in yourself is a talent. It's a skill, like for real. So like, because not everybody believes in themselves. Not everybody does. For whatever conditioning, whatever conditioning has happened for them to be mediocre, be average, or have an average belief about themselves, has impacted them in a way that allowed them to just remain in a certain box or bubble, or, until, sometimes they need a breakthrough or, some miracle happen or they meet someone, who knows. But, Faith is a skill in its own. It's a talent in its own. Consistency is another talent in its own. Because once you're faithful and you consistent at believing in yourself and consistent at working on your talents and your goals and your visions, whatever you want to do, then self-improvement is ultimately going to happen. And self-improvement is a talent right there, because a lot of us don't want to get better. A lot of us want to stay in a certain box, you know? Like I know sometimes, like, you know, I know people who just do one thing and one thing only, you know, like whatever it is. Like if I, you know, like if I don't know, like, you know, example, like cooking, you know, like if I cook this way, if I cook this meal this way, I'm gonna always cook this meal this way. I ain't gonna try nothing different. Even though trying something different might allow you to create a, you know, add an addition to the meal, you know, add an addition to it. So like sometimes we gotta try something different. That's self-improvement, you feel me? You know, like just working outside of the box, self-improvement, you know, you gotta do it. So like personally with me, one of the things I wanna do is this year, 2019, I wanna invest in Amazon fulfillment, you know? And to me, it's a risk. Like it's like I don't know about, you know, is if I'm gonna be able to afford the you know, the account. Maybe I'm not gonna be profiting, and you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be able to. My product's gonna sell. All this stuff is like, do it, because I only got one life to live. You know, it's either gonna work or it don't. Let's find out. Either way, because if I do it, I'm gonna learn from experience, and that learning from experience will allow me to grow, and growing is self-improvement. So let's improve. Like you feel me? Like let's improve. Whether it don't work or it work, I'm gonna learn. But if it does work, I'm gonna learn and profit. And if it don't work, you know, then I can say that I did it. But if I don't do it, then I will be stunting my growth. You know, and I'd rather just go instead of stunt my growth, because I don't want to be stagnant. You know, when I'm stagnant, I'm sad. Personally, I like to feel like I'm moving, being productive, I'm progressing, I'm growing, I'm developing. You know, I'm self-improving. You know, so that's just an example of one way I can just self-improve. You know, I'm not trying to be the richest man in the world, you know, being richer than the next man, but I am striving to be the richest man that I can be in this world. You know. And along the path, I might become richer than a lot of people, but the goal is not to become richer than the next man at all. Like, I'm not worried about nobody else's pockets. I'm not worried about what nobody else got. Like, I ain't worried about none of that. Like, nobody, I ain't saying, like, I ain't trying to be the richest. Nah, none of that. I ain't trying to be the richest man or richer than you. If you get money too, you richer than me, that's great. I would love to be richer than me. I want to learn how you get there. You feel me? I don't want to compete with you. I want to learn from you. You feel me? I want to learn from you. You know, so like along that path is like what I'm realizing I realized this year is like how when it comes to just money, I was writing down my goals. Like I was writing down my spending. Like I wrote down everything that I spent. I was writing down my income. Did it for a few months and I like it, and I still do it. I write down like how much I spend each day on everything I spend. If I spend $2 at the store on cashews, you know, and then I sell a book, and you know what I'm saying? That's $20 made, $2 spent. You know, whatever. I write down every transaction I do, and it allowed me to realize what I'm spending. Is what I'm buying making me money, or what I'm buying not making me money? It's just going away. It's where my money going, and that allowed me to realize like where do I stand when it comes to money. And then when I realize that, then I'm able to self-improve. I'm able to grow. I'm able to now work on myself and do better and become the best saver of money, the best spender of money. You know, like be more wise with my spending and savings, you know, because I am working on myself. I strive to be the best I can be, but no better than you, no better than anybody else. I ain't trying to compete with you and save more than you and spend less than you, but I want to improve on myself. I want to become better financially, clear my debts, grow my accounts, and do business, you feel me? Own my own business, be an entrepreneur. These are the things I want to be. So it starts with monitoring, exactly my habits, monitoring what I do so that I can develop, change what needs to be changed, and become better and better, become better and better at being Quindell, you know? And with that being said, like, I know that what somebody else does don't do anything for me, but I can learn from them. You feel me? I can learn from other people's experiences. For example, like when I was talking about the pageants, like I wasn't backstage when doing these pageants and competitions. Well, I mean, only when it was time for me to perform. And anybody, I don't know if anybody remember, but if anybody was with me or remember that time like I do, I was not backstage. I was out watching the other competitors to learn from them. To learn, like, what are they doing? What are they doing that I can do? What are they not doing? How are the judges reacting to them? Looking at the judges' faces, checking out the vibe of the show, like checking out the vibe of the contest, the competition, like what is it really about? Because I want to learn. I want to always learn how to improve. So with that being said, like, let's learn about ourselves and how we can become better selves. Like, how can we always improve? You feel me? And I'm glad I wrote that line down. I'm probably gonna make that the topic of the title of this podcast because I don't even remember. But see, that's how I know I wrote it down so I could come back to it later. And I know that's what I want the title to be because it was fire. You feel me? What is it? Talent goes as far as the faith allows it to. I'm saying, I feel like that's a little too deep. I don't know if it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's an attractive title or not, but I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe that is powerful saying right there. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I might have to quote that. So, yeah. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. Quindell Evans, 3 words. The word blue, the word poet, the word tree. Blue is the color of dream. Poet is the orator inscribed. Trees are what keeps us alive. BluePoetry.com. Blue Poetry on the gram. Click the links in the caption and where you could rate this, give your comments on it, check out my music, and everywhere you can find this at. Much love, y'all. I appreciate it. Quindell Evans. Let's go.